What if I told you that the color of your cat's fur is not just about looks? That buried inside that coat is a biological blueprint, one that shapes how your cat loves, how it fights, how it trusts, and how it chooses you. Most people pick a cat and think, I just liked the way it looked. But science says something far more interesting is going on. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will never look at your cat the same way again. Cats have been living alongside humans for over 10,000 years, and in all that time, we've learned to read their moods, their habits, their little rituals. But one thing most of us have completely overlooked is hiding in plain sight, right there in their fur. Researchers have been quietly uncovering a link between coat color and personality, and what they've found is genuinely fascinating. Number 1. The orange cat. There's a reason orange cats have taken over social media. They crash into everything, knock things off shelves, and then stare at you like they've just discovered gravity. But here's what's actually happening underneath all that chaos. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, conducted one of the largest behavioral studies ever done on domestic cats. They surveyed more than 1,000 cat owners and found that orange cats consistently ranked at the very top for friendliness and affection. They want to be near you. They need to be near you. And that's not just personality, it's genetic. The gene responsible for orange coloring is tied to the X chromosome. Because of this, the vast majority of orange cats are male, and male cats, on average, already carry higher levels of boldness and territorial behavior. When you layer the orange gene on top of that, you get a cat wired for intensity, fierce loyalty, constant contact, and almost zero impulse control. That's why your orange cat knocked your drink off the counter, not out of spite. The thought simply hadn't fully formed before the paw was already moving. The key with orange cats is to give that intense need for closeness somewhere to land. A dedicated spot on the couch, a specific cushion on the bed, somewhere that belongs to them when they want to be near you. Once they have that anchor, a lot of the chaos starts to settle, because the chaos was never really about being destructive. It was about reaching for connection in the only way they know how. Black cats. Number 2, the black cat. Centuries of superstition have followed black cats everywhere they go, but the behavioral research tells a completely different story. A study published in the Journal of Applied Animal Welfare Science found that black cats consistently scored as the most easygoing and adaptable of all coat groups. Low aggression, low anxiety, high tolerance for new people, new environments, new routines. In shelters, black cats settled into their new spaces faster than cats of any other color. Think about where that behavior comes from. In the wild, dark-coated animals survive through stillness. They watch, they wait, they move only when they're ready. That ancient instinct doesn't disappear just because they're living on your couch. Black cats are observers by nature. They absorb a room before they enter it. They choose their moments carefully. What this means for you is that your black cat's quiet is not indifference. It is deep, deliberate attention. The mistake most people make is assuming their black cat doesn't care as much because it doesn't demand as loudly. But black cats bond profoundly. They'll follow you to every room without making a sound. They'll sleep near you every single night without ever asking for credit. If you want to deepen that bond, try this. Sit near your black cat without reaching for them. Just be present. No pressure. No outstretched hand. And over time, you will watch them slowly drift toward you, not because you pulled them in, but because you gave them space to choose. Number 3, gray cats. Gray cats almost never come up in these conversations. They're not the internet darling. They don't have a dramatic reputation. But what gray cats offer is something rarer than drama. They offer steadiness. In behavioral studies, gray cats consistently land in the middle of nearly every metric. Moderate playfulness, moderate affection, moderate reactions to change. And that balance is not blandness, it's reliability. With a gray cat, you know what you're going to get. There are no wild swings, no inexplicable mood shifts, no waking up to a completely different personality than the one that fell asleep beside you. For first-time cat owners, for families with young children, for anyone whose life is already unpredictable enough, gray cats make the quietest, smoothest transition of any coat color. But here's the detail that most people miss entirely. Gray cats seem to carry a particular sensitivity to human emotion. Behaviorists have noted that gray cats are often the first to approach a person who is upset, the first to settle near someone who is grieving, the first to offer a quiet, unhurried presence when everything else feels too loud. Most owners don't even notice it's happening. They think the cat just happened to be nearby. But look at the timing. Look at when it happens. Your gray cat is not there by coincidence.
Number 4. White cats and the hidden thing most owners never find out. Studies have shown that white cats, particularly those with blue eyes, carry significantly higher rates of congenital deafness. The same gene that strips pigment from the fur can also disrupt the development of the inner ear. Many white cats with 2 blue eyes are deaf in one or both ears, and most of their owners have no idea. Now think about what that means for the cat. A deaf white cat cannot hear you approaching, cannot hear the tone in your voice, cannot hear the sounds that signal safety or threat that every other cat relies on instinctively. So they adapt. They read the world through vibration, through light, through the microscopic details of your body language that hearing cats never need to bother with. White cats become extraordinarily precise observers of human behavior. They notice the tension in how you carry your shoulders. They read the difference between the way you move when you're calm and the way you move when something is wrong. They feel the vibration of your footsteps on the floor before they ever see you. This makes them seem more easily startled, more prone to anxiety. But that's not nervousness. That's a cat navigating the world with fewer tools and doing it brilliantly. If you have a white cat who startles easily, approach from the front. Stomp lightly as you walk toward them so they feel you coming. These small adjustments eliminate the ambush and replace it with something they can prepare for. That one change can transform how safe they feel in your home. Calico cats. Number 5. The calico cat. Calicos share the tortoiseshell gene pattern, but the addition of white patches creates something distinct. Preliminary research suggests that the gene responsible for those white markings may influence neural development during gestation. The same pathways that guide pigment cells also guide certain nerve cells. The result is a cat that processes and resets faster than almost any other. Calico owners often describe the experience as living with someone who has 2 completely separate personalities that trade off without warning. Purring contentment in one moment, a sudden swat the next, and then back to contentment before you've even processed what happened. The key is that calicos always give a signal before they shift. A tail flick, an ear rotation, a tiny tightening of posture. If you learn to catch those signals early, you can adjust before things escalate. If you miss them, the shift will feel like it came from nowhere, but it didn't. It never does. Here's what all of this comes down to. Every single cat that has ever curled up in a patch of sunlight on your floor, every cat that has ever waited at the door when you came home, every cat that has ever pressed its forehead against yours in the dark, each one was shaped by forces far older and deeper than we usually stop to notice. The color you fell in love with on the day you brought them home was already carrying a story, a genetic history, a quiet set of instructions about how they would need to be loved. The cats in our lives don't ask for much. Mostly they just want to be understood. And now, maybe, you're a little closer to that.